Good evening once again. Now, we're back again. For days, we've traced the journey of the Electoral Act, a bill born from the growing demand for an electoral system Nigerians can finally trust. But today, in an extraordinary emergency session, both the Senate and the House passed the bill, yet it was anything but smooth. And the House opposition lawmakers staged a walkout, chanting against Clause 60, the controversial provision that marks or makes electronic transmission of results optional, with manual collation as the primary fallback. Outside, protesters demanding transparency were met with tear gas as police tried to disperse crowds. Tonight, we break down what this harmonized version means for your vote in 2027. Is this a pragmatic safeguard for Nigeria's infrastructure or a betrayal of the transparency citizens were promised? To, of course, discuss this, I have my guest, but let's watch this package put together on this matter.
We are working on the lives of the people. We are going to lives of the people.
These were moments before the peaceful protest over electoral reform spiraled into chaos. Protesters under the banner of the Movement for Credible Elections assembled at the entrance of the National Assembly, calling on lawmakers to adopt provisions that guarantee real-time electronic transmission of election results.
It's very clear without ambiguity. And what they have done is to already they're basically preempting us for the fact that they are planning to do exactly the provisos that they have put to that clause. Is that what we should take?
No. What we are doing here today is our right.
Yes, sir.
And it's our love for the country we are expressing.
Yes, sir.
They cannot be too sure that every part of Nigeria will continue to wait and protest peacefully like this. So the earlier they abandon that attempted coup and do the right thing, the best for the country.
The protest began with speeches and a press briefing, but later escalated when demonstrators attempted to move closer to the main gate of the complex. Security operatives resisted the move and subsequently fired tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd.
The Nigerian police force approached with extra vans, with extra policemen, and they are raining tear gas, as you can see from the visuals.
In the ensuing confusion, some protesters alleged harassment by security personnel, while a driver said to have conveyed demonstrators to the venue was forcibly dragged away by armed officers.
Why did he beat you? I know. They throw the chaga. I see one small girl, the woman, they cry. I call it the picking chat. I put her someone that throw the girl. I say, Oga, I beg her, Oga, my binu. I beg me not to try again. Before I know, back. I saw Oga, see my ID card. See my, I show him. Go see him for what's up. I say, see my ID card. I'm a driver, see my beg, my binu.
Although the protesters were eventually dispersed, organizers insist the agitation is far from over. The one that failure by the National Assembly to address their demands could trigger a nationwide protest. In Abuja, for News Central, I am Joshua Imarai.
Yeah.
Of course, still on this matter, we got reactions from some of the key figures that participated in today's protest. Take a listen to some of the things they had to say.
Part of the gallery where the emergency meeting is holding, so that we can make sure and monitor which is within our rights as citizens. They brought some barbarians, brutes, and they were unleashing this gas. Don't call it tear gas, because this has never happened before, that they unleash a gas from a container, a compressed container. At the moment it was unleashed on people, it was entering through our skins and our hair. And several people have collapsed. Yes.
And they have been accused. They have been accused of importing. They have been accused of importing poisonous substances. And therefore, for them to begin to release gas, I have been on the street for more than 5 years. And even during the military
3 rule, they have never used or released gas on protesters. A peaceful protest organized by Nigerians, and they are now releasing poisonous gas, which is a corroboration of the poisonous substances they import into this country. Yes, so we now believe that this country is being governed by people who are determined to eliminate their citizens. Yes, because it's an unprovoked act. We have the right to access the National Assembly.
Well, it is a rain of tear gas, as you can see.
Of course, you just saw there Omoyele Sowore and also former Minister Solomon Dalong speak on what they encountered on the protest ground. Well, joining the conversation right now is Deji Doherty, is the former chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Lagos State. And Peter Akah is a political activist. He joins from our Abuja studio. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let me start the conversation with you, Mr. Akah. You were at the protest ground today. And I would like to make reference to what Mr. Omoyele Sowore did say, that what was released didn't seem like the usual tear gas. He said it was released from some sort of container and that some people collapsed, and what some might speculate as maybe some sort of nerve or poisonous gas. You were on ground today. Even though News Central was there, I'd like you to speak on your experience on what you saw and the nature of this gas.
Thank you very much for having me. As it is today, it is up to Nigerians to unite and end the APC reign of terror in Nigeria before APC ends Nigeria. Nigeria today is an open crime scene. What we call government in Nigeria is a sophisticated criminal enterprise where citizens who are peaceful and agitate for a better country are met with force. Meanwhile, non-terrorists are holding stakeholder meetings in places in the country. Terrorists are running sub-governmental levels, and it is a shame because the APC, the ruling government today in Nigeria, have decided to take a brazen assault to carry out a democratic coup in an attempt to subvert the will of the people, and Nigerians must resist it in its totality. To even think of the fact that this is the same APC where both Tinubu, Oyegu, and people in the APC protested against the Jonathan government, but today peaceful protests have become a criminal offense. We went to the National Assembly with a simple demand. Nigerians want mandatory real-time electronic transmission of results to be included in the Electoral Amendment Bill to foreclose every attempt to steal the mandate and the vote of the people. But what happened is what you have been seeing. And we want to say thank you to News Central and other journalists and media houses who were on ground. Your reporter Joshua was there. While we tried to protest, the first tear gas canisters were released to the protesters by the officers who were there. After some minutes, it was apparent that there was a reinforcement of some troops, and they drove in different Hilux vans and were firing this substance and whatever it is directly at citizens. I have some of the canisters. These are some of them. A number of them, until persons were running as far as the Federal Secretariat and the Eagle Square. We were followed by these officers, and they kept shooting at them, shooting directly even at the press who were there to cover it. And then it begs the question, who exactly is afraid of free and fair election in Nigeria today? The APC, Tinubu boasts, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, boasts of having more than 30 governors. You have the entire National Assembly, the judiciary, everybody, even INEC is almost an extension of the electoral wing of the APC. You have city boys and township girls and everything. Yet you are afraid of a simple clause, mandatory real-time electronic transmission of results. What a shame. This is the highest level of mischief. When an unpopular government knows that the only option you have to retain power is by subverting the will of the people. And we say
Peter,
no, because we cannot continue like this.
Peter, I mean, just before I move to the next guest, in terms of your health, I hope you're okay right now.
I'm very well. What is sick is Nigeria. And no matter what happens, I am not better than people who have died in Benue. We are not better than scores being killed in Plateau. Nigeria is worth our time, and the entire country must know that this is a fight for our lives. Our lives will not count until our votes begin to count. All right, let me bring into the conversation Deji Doherty. He's the Deputy National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. He joins virtually. It's great to have you, sir. With what we saw today outside the outside the House, and even with all of the drama that also happened, you know, at the House of Reps too, I would like your quick reaction before we go on our first break. 30 seconds.
Yes, thank you. Good evening to the viewers, and also good evening to you at the studio, and also to my comrade in Abuja. First of all, you understand, I have been a member of the People's Democratic Party for over 26 years. And we are very shaken. We are not happy with what is happening right now. You understand. The comrade has said it all. And I'm really happy that the youths and the younger ones are getting up to stand for their rights, to also stand for Nigeria as a whole, because they are the future of Nigeria. They own Nigeria, as a matter of fact, because we have enjoyed part of it, and we are going. We're already going out. I ran, you know, in PDP at the age of 38. I'm 63 now. You understand? So we're not getting younger, and I'm happy that the comrade, people like him, are standing up for their right. Now, having said that, I believe that the Senate and the National Assembly as a whole, and politicians, myself inclusive, politicians should wake up and know that the world is changing. We cannot continue in this trajectory if democracy is going to work in this country. Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And like the comrade said, the governors have moved willingly to the APC. INEC, whatever, all the tools and the extensions of government are moving towards APC. However, Bola Ahmed Tinubu stands on one side, all right, and the APC stands on one side. Now, it is for us as a people to call on Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do the right thing, to tell his people to do the right thing.
I mean, it's an interesting angle. Sorry to interrupt you. I sincerely apologize. You said something there. You said the president stands on one side and then the APC is on another side. I would like you to put some clarity to that, but that will be after we return from this break. Do stay with us. We will be right back. I still have my guest with me, and of course we're looking at the fallout outside the House today and also within the House as regards that clause concerning the electronic transmission of results in lieu of 2027 polls. Well, I would want to come back to you, Mr. Doherty. You are trying to explain, I mean, the role of the opposition, the role of politicians in all of this, and then you made a statement. You said the president stands on one side and his party stands on another side. But some Nigerians would differ on that because members of the party claim to stand on a mandate which is very connected to the president.
Thank you very much. What I'm saying, in effect, is this, and you will agree with me after I say this. The president is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is the father of all in Nigeria today. And that means all political parties, all the citizens, good, bad, opposition, APC, PDP, and Labour, everybody he becomes the father of everybody. He becomes the father of the nation. He becomes the deciding factor that has been voted in to do the right thing for these youths. We have been in government. Listen, I'm a member of the PDP. Yes, but Obasanjo was there before we knew we didn't have power. We knew we did not have good health in Nigeria. We knew we did not have good education before Obasanjo came in. We knew we did not have employment. Unemployment was rising. We knew that our youths were already dying. You understand? Where are we today? Jonathan came in. Yeredua came in. Nothing happened. We're still on the same thing. Bola Tinubu has come in. He's trying his best. But we are still where we were in 1998. You understand? So this is my call to politicians. Not only APC. It is APC, it's PDP, it is everybody, all of us. We owe our responsibility to these young ones. We have children too. What is it? It's just automatic transmission. Automatic transmission. What is the big deal? Most people are going to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu anyway. So why don't you just do it? It is only a spark. It is only a spark that creates a fire.
I think we seem to have lost connection with Mr. Doherty. Let me go back to our Abuja studio where we have Peter Akah on standby. Peter, thank you for staying with us. Now, let me voice some reaction by some Nigerians on this protest. For some, they feel that, look, yes, the electronic transmission of results is a pivotal issue, but there are other pressing issues in lieu of this election. Part of it is how heavily monetized the process appears to be, and then voter education, particularly at the grassroots level. So for many Nigerians, they feel that the priority is not straight, particularly, on as regards, activists like yourself and quite a number of others. How do you react to people with these concerns?
Before I react to that, let me also just, with all due respect to our uncle who spoke from the Lagos studio and referenced APC on one side, Tinubu on one side. That is not completely true. Whatever the National Assembly is carrying out is a complete script from the presidency. In fact, today in Nigeria, the National Assembly has become an extension of the presidency. If Tinubu asks the House and Senate leadership to jump up, the question will be how high do they want to jump? It is a captured assembly. So what we are seeing playing out in the National Assembly cannot be separated from what is happening in the villa, if not a direct instruction. Even before today, we had already gotten the information that they have had meetings, and we put it online, that there is an attempt to ensure they repeal the bill from the House and adopt the Senate provision. And that is why you could have even seen a walkout from the House of Reps members chanting the infamous song, calling the party and calling them Ole, APC, Ole. You could hear them. So whatever that is going out, it is organized attempts to take the mandate of the people. And if President Tinubu truly believes he's the father of the country, they cannot be showing this level of desperation. Leadership is not by force, it is by choice. What kind of father will more than 100 citizens be killed in Kwara and you will choose to attend the fishing festival in Kebbi? The same Kebbi you have not been able to tell citizens who ordered troops to leave the government secondary school before there was a kidnap. I don't know what kind of father will keep quiet and see the people continue to die and suffer even when you have no capacity to lead them, but you want to impose on them. For the persons who are asking about other provisions in the Act, there is a lot going on. Even the clause for direct indirect primaries have been altered and tampered with. Most of the issues there, the electoral offenses, but the fact remains that one of the most important aspects of our elections is the period between voter registration, voting, and transmission of results. And that is why Mahmoud Yakubu, the former INEC chairman who gave us the glitches, told Nigerians and wrote an INEC position paper 21 saying we must reduce human interference within this process and we need electronic technology. And today, INEC has been given 200 billion. What technology does INEC want to procure with 200 billion? What happened to all the technology procured in 2023 with over 300 billion? Are the beavers pampas? Do they use them and discard them? Why is it that in Nigeria, every year we continue to spend money on infrastructure that is not permanent? INEC has not told us what they want to do with that money. The National Assembly has not told us why they approve more than 800 billion. So as it is today, the most important aspect of our elections is between voter registration, voting, and transmission of results. It has to be electronic so that people will have access to it in real time and not take it to the shrine of INEC election rigging, which are collation centers. We say no, we resist it. We need transparent elections, sir. Is it a crime to have free and fair elections in Nigeria? Who is afraid of this process?
All right, Peter, I'm still staying on you. Civil society groups like yourself, are you also doing anything to ensure that education also gets to the grassroots level, in lieu of 2027, aside just, protesting, at the National Assembly?
Yes, protest is one thing, and this is to galvanize support. This is to let every Nigerian know that our lives begin to count when our votes count. There is no country in the world where the votes of the people count, where leaders will act irresponsibly and recklessly. The confidence of every corrupt political administration is in a corrupt and a crooked electoral process and a corrupt judiciary. So the idea is to ensure that we get the legislative loopholes in our laws closed, and then we take it as a point of call to mobilize Nigerians. Everybody must know that every Nigerian today is a potential victimhood is waiting for Nigerians. Resident doctors and medical officers have been on strike. The educational sector is comatose. We have more than 18 million out of school children. Nigerians must draw the line from a failed government system to the poor level and class of life that we operate in this country. The injustice and inequality, the brazen corruption and criminality, where a governor can, according to EFCC, steal money in billions to pay school fee in advance and still have the nerves to come out to say you want to run for another public office. It is because you know that INEC can be weaponized against the people. Nigerians must know that today's victims were yesterday's survivors. Tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. The dead can no longer die. We must mobilize ahead of 2027, but we will start with our electoral laws.
All right, Mr. Doherty, I believe you're back. We lost you for a moment. Of course, let me also take your reaction to some of this things, particularly what we saw happen, today, where, of course, minority members of the House of Representatives staged a dramatic walkout, on this same matter. Quite a couple of them members of the opposition party. You are a member of the People's Democratic Party and opposition party. How do you react, particularly on behalf of members of your party, with what we saw today at the House of Reps?
Well, yeah, thank you very much. Yes, the minority member, Honorable Chinda, was the one that led the walkout today. And we are with him, we stand with him, and we support what he has done. You understand, this is democracy. And I believe that in a democratic setting, the people own the government. And if the people say this is what they want, then it is the rightful thing for the House or the National Assembly to pass what the people say they want. It's also bestowed on Mr. President to do the same. You understand? Now, having said that, I believe that in the struggle for this, the opposition can only come together, to stand together, rather than individually or segmentally, you understand, trying to twist the arm of the sitting government. Come together and strategize on how you can do this. It's not only by protest.
We seem to have lost connectivity there, but we'll go on another break. When we return, we, of course, will continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ. I still have my guest with me. Well, before we wrap up this first half of the conversation, I'll be going to our Abuja studio, where, of course, we have Peter Akah. Peter, in 30 seconds, with what we've seen today as regards the protest, what next? Are we seeing a continuation tomorrow? What is the next line of action for, individuals and groups like yourself?
In 30 seconds, a luta continua. Nigeria must prevail. 2027, our votes must count. Whether the APC, whether President Tinubu, whether Akpabio, Barau Jibrin, Tajuddin Abbas, Ben Kalu, Okpeyemi Bamidele, and all other APC leaders in the Senate and in the presidency, whether they like it or not, our votes must count. The people's mandate will prevail in 2027. So a luta continua.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Deji Doherty, 30 seconds.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. So your closing remark, 30 seconds, sir.
Okay, well, my closing remark is basically a sound of caution to the political family. You understand? And I believe that they are seeing what is happening. Everywhere is tense. There was full subsidy removal. There was the dollar stabilization. There was everything that have made Nigerians get a bit edgy. I don't think making the automatic the Electoral Act to make the transmission of results real time should be a problem.
All right.
Really, it shouldn't be. That is the only way Nigeria can move forward. So my advice to the Senate and also the members of House of Rep is that they should please do what the Nigerians want and what the youths want. And that is all I can say for now.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. It's, of course, been a pleasure having you on the program this evening. Deji Doherty is the Deputy National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Peter Akah is a political activist. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you very much.